Hi, George here. Do you want to have your own custom armor? Well, it's easy to do, and I'll show you how in this video. You can make your armor any color you want, that's fine. But to do this, we're going to have to get a few things and then build a new resource pack for this. So for that, let's switch over to the desktop and get started. Okay, here we are on my desktop, and we need a few things to build our resource pack. The first one, of course, is a folder like this. I just made a new folder on my C drive. I named it pack, nothing special about that. You'll need a pack.png file. This is a custom one I made over in Photoshop, and it's simply any image you want. It's a PNG, and it's 128 by 128. So if you want to use the default grass block one, I'll show you where that one is. But it's kind of fun to have your own. We'll need a pack.mcmeta file in here. Okay, for the pack.mcmeta, just go to my website, which is right here. I'll put the link for this page in the description. If you want to see the current coding, it's right there. But to make it real easy, just come down here and download the one for your version. I have packs here for all versions back to when they first began using the pack.mcmeta file. The top one is current right now. This will change with the next update of Minecraft, but right now this is correct for 1.2, 1.11. If you're watching this video after the next version comes out, just come back to this page and you'll see the correct one at the top of the list. Okay, to download this, just click on that and save this back into the same folder that we have everything else in. Choose save, and that's done. Okay, let's go ahead and go back over there. There we go, there's our pack. Now we need to get the pack out of here, so just right click on this, open a new window. There it is, and just drag and drop that over here. Okay, once that's done, get rid of these things. You don't need those anymore. That's good. Now inside here, this is all set to go for 121.11. Let's open this thing up. I like using Notepad++. It's a free download. If you're using a later version, then check what the correct format number is. I'll talk about that when it changes. Right now in the beta stuff, it's up to 79. So you have a minimum format. This has to be the same as or lower than the current format. And your max format has to be the same as or higher than the current format. I set mine 10 ahead of that one. So you don't have to always come in here and fix these things. Let's just change the name right here. This is still fine. So I'll change the name. Let's call it Custom Armor Pack. There we go, Custom Armor Pack for 121.11. Save that, and that's good. Okay, now we need to get the vanilla resource pack. And for that, open up the Minecraft launcher. And I have that right here. Where it says installations, click on that. And then latest release, go over here, click on that folder right there. This opens up the Minecraft folder. And in here, scroll down until you see versions right there. Open this up. And inside of here, look for the folder that says 121.11 because that's what we're in right now. If you're in a later version, then look for the folder that matches your version. Ignore anything that has numbers or letters after the end of it. You want the one that's just the numbers, that's just the straight version right there. Okay, let's open this one up. And here we have two files, 121.11 jar and 121.11 JSON. If you're not seeing those extensions, go up here to view, come down to show, and click on Find them extensions right here. I'm in Windows 11. If you're in Windows 10, go up to the top, up to the View tab, and then over here somewhere right-hand side, there's a checkbox for Find them extensions. Just do that. You should then see those. We'll need that later anyway. You want to copy this jar file over into our working folder. So I'll bring that up, just right there. I'm just going to right drag it over here and copy. Make sure you copy, make sure you don't move. Ask to copy. And there we go. Okay, get that out of the way. We're done with that. Now right click on this and rename, and then use your right arrow key to scroll back over to the end of jar, erase jar, and type in zip. Like that. Click outside and say yes. There we go. It's now a zip file. It always was. It just had a .jar at the end of it. Okay, right click on this. And just like we did with that pack.mcmeta, open a new window. And we'll need a few things out of here. First though, let's scroll way down on this page, all the way down almost towards the end here. Right down here, pack.png. You can use this instead of a custom one. This is just that grass block look. That's all it is. Go ahead and just drag that over and you're set. Okay, let's go back to the top. Then go inside of Assets and Minecraft, and then come down to Texture since we're changing a texture. And in here, come into Entity, and then scroll down. And this is new from earlier versions. Go into Equipment, and in here you're going to find Humanoid and Humanoid Leggings. So we need to create these folders up here inside of our resource pack over here. So let's go ahead, we'll do that. New folder, first one is Assets. Inside of this, new folder. Second one is Minecraft. Inside of that, new folder. This one's textures. Inside of this, new folder. This one's entity. Inside of entity, new folder, equipment. And then inside of equipment, we need two folders, humanoid and humanoid leggings. Okay, new folder. First one's humanoid. And second one is humanoid leggings. It's an underscore right there. Okay, so we have these two folders. Now, let's go over here, go into humanoid, and this is all of your different armor types. Chainmail, there's the new copper, diamond, gold, iron, leather overlay, netherite, and the turtle scoot, which is just the helmet. Let's do diamond. Since we're inside of a zip file, I can just drag this over, put it onto humanoid, like that. That copies it in. And then back up one folder here, inside of humanoid leggings. These are the leggings, same name as you can see. Drag that into humanoid leggings. Double check. There we go. There's the armor, and then here's the leggings for that armor. That's good. Okay, now back up to textures again. The same thing over here. Back this up to textures. And in here, we need to get the images that show inside of the inventory. And that's in the item folder right down here, and they're in here. So we need to make an item folder right here. New folder, item. Open this up, and here everything is by the material or by the color. So if you want diamond armor, you're looking for a diamond, not armor. So let's scroll down, and here's the diamond stuff. There's the diamond boots. I'll hold down the control key. There's the chest plate. There's the helmet. And then we need to find the leggings. They're right here. Let's just drag those over here. There it is. I'll change the view here to large icons. And that's everything that shows in the inventory. Okay. Now that we have all of that stuff, we're ready to go ahead and change the look of those and then make the pack. Now I'll be doing this inside of Adobe's Photoshop program. You can use any graphics program you want. It doesn't matter. It just has to be able to handle transparency, and they almost all do. The one that doesn't is Windows Paint, so don't use that, but pretty much anything else is fine. And we're doing easy stuff on this one. So let's go ahead. I'll go over into Photoshop, and let's open those files and take a look at that. Okay, here we are. Go up to File, come down to Open. There's the pack. Let's go into Assets, Minecraft, Textures, Entity, Equipment, Humanoid, and there's everything above the legs. Open that up, and the boots are in this one as well. Now, these are real small files, so I'm just going to scroll in on this. The first thing you have to do, you can see it over here, it says Index. This is an indexed file. You have to convert this over to RGB. So go up to Image, come down to Mode, and change this to RGB color. There we go. Let's now open the leggings up. File open. And let's find the leggings folder right here. Same thing. Open that. I'll just zoom in on that one. Let's change the mode in here. Image, mode, RGB color. And there we go. Okay. At this point, you can do whatever you want in here. Just make sure that you paint just inside of these shapes. Don't paint into the transparent areas. So just paint into the image part of this. I'll do this real easy. I won't take any real time on this. I'll just put a gradient. But if you want to have more detail, you can do that. Let's go up here to image size. Right now the size is 64 by 32. If you want a lot more detail, just double these numbers. So make this one 128 by 64. So it's a lot bigger image. And then I'll scroll back out. Notice in here, each square now has 4 squares in it. So it's a lot bigger. You get a lot more detail. I'm not going to do that in this video. I won't be taking the time for that. We'll just recolor it. But you can do anything you want at this point as far as changing the color in here, putting in details, whatever you feel like, that's fine. Okay, now I want to have a mask in here, so I mask out just these parts of the image. So I'll take my magic wand. Let's go right here, select that layer. There we go, and then click into the clear area. That's all the clear stuff selected. I don't want that. I want to invert that selection. I also need to have this little bit up here. So I'll change this to add, and I'll add that little bit in. Okay, let's now go up to select and then inverse. So now just the shapes are selected, and I'll use that to make a layer mask over here. Just click on the layer mask button, which is right down there. And here's our layer mask. Now, anything I do is going to be staying just inside of that. If you want to have the original color as a safety, it's not a bad idea to make this as a new layer. So I'll just right click where it says layer 1, duplicate layer, choose OK. I'll hide that one. So I can now go back to that if I want to start over again without having to do all those steps. I just save myself some time there in the future. Okay, let's now change the color of this. I'll just put a gradient on top of this. So over here to the fill bucket, change this to the gradient tool. We have lots of gradients in here. Maybe I'll choose something in the purples. Let's see what we have. Here's kind of a light blue to dark blue. Not sure why it's in the purple one, but I'll use that one. And I'll just drag it along like that. So there's my gradient. And then come down here to the layer mask, hold the Alt key down, drag up that copies the layer mask. So that's now just on that layer. Now I want to have my details showing through. So again, since we're in Photoshop, I can do that here with the blend modes. Multiply looks pretty good. Color burns kind of, and that's real kind of garish. I like that. Let's see what else we have. Screen is already kind of on the light side. I'm just scrolling down, see what I get. I think I'll use color burn, real kind of cartoonish looking. I like that look. Okay, that's now done. We can save this. File and save. It's going to automatically save as a Photoshop file. That's good. That's a backup. And that saves my layers. So I can now come back and change this later on if I want to. My files are already all set up. We now have to save this out as a PNG file. Go to File, come down to Export. I'll do a quick export as PNG. Put it in the same folder, same name. Choose Save. It's going to overwrite that one. There we go. And that one's done. Let's do the exact same thing over here on the legs. This top part here, this actually is the top part of the leg. This is the bottom part of the leg. I don't know why they have those backwards, but that's what it's set up. Save this one, same thing. File, save, saves it as a Photoshop file in that correct folder. File, export, quick export as PNG. Make sure you're in the right folder. Humanoid leggings. There we go. Save. And yes, that one's done. Okay, that takes care of the actual armor. But we need now to work on those little icons that show up in the inventory. So let's open all of that stuff up. File open. If we back up here to textures, it's in the item folder. And it's these things right here. Now you don't have to change this if you don't want to. That's up to you. But I'll show you how right now in case you do want to. And again, these are real small files. I'll zoom in. These are index files. You have to change these over to RGB. So that's image mode RGB. Let's do this on each one of these. Okay, they're all ready for our color change. Let's take our magic wand, click in here. That selects all the empty area. Let's invert that, inverse, and then gradient tool, new layer, and drag your gradient just like that. There we go. And then we'll change this to color burn, and there's the gradient. And we'll save this file out, and I'll do the exact same thing for the rest of these 3 files. I won't bother showing you all that because it's the exact same steps as I just did right here. And make sure you save your files. Go up to File, come down to Save. Make sure it's in the item folder. That's good. Choose Save. And then File, Export. Make sure you're in the right folder. This item folder right there. And choose Save and override that. And do that for the other 3 images. Okay, so now switch back over to the desktop again. Okay, let's check those files. Go to Assets, Minecraft, Textures. Let's check the actual armor first. There we go. There's a new armor file and our backup Photoshop file. Let's check the leggings. There they are. That's good. Okay, back to textures. Going to item. And there are the new icon files. That's all set to go. Okay, now that we have that done, we need to zip this stuff up. You want the assets folder. Hold the control key down, your pack MC Meta and your pack PNG. Right click and then compress this to a zip file and give it a name. Let's call it custom armor. If you're on Windows 10, go up to the Share tab, and you'll find the zip right there. We now need to put this inside the game. So I'll bring back up the launcher. It's right here. We're still on this page. Click on that folder right there. Scroll down. And this time, come down to the Resource Packs folder. Open this one up. You want to put it right here. Okay, I'll bring up that folder. There we go. I'm just going to right drag it over here and copy. And I'll be putting this up on my website as well. If you want to download that, I'll put that link in the description. So that's in the game. Now go back over here again. Click on play. Let's launch this into the game, activate the pack, and make sure it looks correct. Here we go. This is my custom title page. If you want to see how I did all of this stuff, I have links for these videos in the description. Go into Options, Resource Packs. You'll see it on the left-hand side. There it is, Custom Armor. Click that arrow, bring it over here, right-hand side. That's good. Choose Done. Done again. Single player in my main world right here. So we should see the change, and there it is. There's our armor change right there. And there we go. Because of the gradient, things look a little weird here. The helmet and the boots down there, those are in the light part of the gradient. And then the sleeves and the chest bits is on the dark part of the gradient. The leggings is this part right here. That's the dark part of the gradient. And then this is the light part of the gradient. So it's all working correctly. And it's working on my outfit as well. Right there, you can see that. And also we have that gradient happening here inside of the inventory as well. Okay, so there you go. That's how you can change the armor to look like it's anything you want. Real easy. It's just making the right kind of resource pack and putting things into the right folders. Now, if you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you want to see my gameplay videos, those are on my second channel. And this HTG George Plays. I'll put a link for that in the description. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm doing new videos all the time. And I'll see you next time.